This is Starting Five, Sleepers Media. Greg Waddell here, Carter Elliott there. We are sort of an Illinois show now. When you do 10,000 views on Illinois video, I'm an Illinois show now. In all seriousness, shout out to any new Illinois listeners we may have picked up. Appreciate all the love and interaction that video was shown with. If you don't know us, maybe we should do a little intro because we might have a new audience card now. We are the Sleepers. We cover everything college basketball, but with a heavy Big Ten focus, a lot of laughs, a lot of entertainment, and a lot of lost bets for this big fella that I'm talking to right now. Carter Elliott. Cart, how are you doing this morning?
I was just about to praise you for the Greg Waddell here, Carter Elliott there bar, because that was a pretty elite intro, but you had to just finish it off with that little bit of betting shade. But hey, I'm good. Greg pretty much covered it. I always got a globe in the background. That's the first thing I want to point out to everybody. And it's a nasty globe. And of course, the Albion basketball jersey, go Brits, by the way. But blessed, highly favored to be here, Gregory. You know, I love a good morning starting five just to get the day going.
So one of the things we do is the Starting Five. We try to drop this every Monday morning. 5 biggest topics in basketball. That's what you're watching today. Go over to the rest of the channel, find some of the other things we do. We do Drunk Scouts and NBA draft scouting report series where drunk history basically meets the NBA draft. We get very drunk. It's very funny. And yeah, full podcast episodes during the season with players, coaches, media members from around the game of college basketball. But today we're here to do the Starting Five, Cart. And we have a lot of things to talk about. We're going to start with the NBA though, because we are in the midst of the NBA finals. It is 1-1. Warriors, Celtics. It's been a fun series. I think a little bit of a weird series. My biggest takeaway so far, Cart, is that if you felt that the Celtics were the better team going into the series, or if you felt the Warriors were the best team going into the series, you still feel that way. I haven't seen anybody say anything has changed for them. Celtics fans are still loudly saying it's obvious we're the better team, and we let game 2 slip. And Warriors fans are just like, we've been up 12 at the end of every third quarter. How is anybody acting like we're not the better team? You and I were on opposite sides of this. You were on the Celtics in 6. I was on the Warriors in 5. And I bet if you asked us both, we would both say we haven't changed a thing. Is that right?
Yeah, no, it's definitely right. I mean, I texted you before game 2, and I was like, there's nothing that could make me bet against the Warriors tonight. Like this game, I'm not going to use the word fix. I'm not going to use the word rigged or whatever you want to use. This game, the Warriors were winning. They were not going down 0-2. They've been in too many NBA finals. People talk about their finals experience. They're not going to put themselves in a hole with their backs against the walls going 0-2 in the Boston. So, like you said, the series has kind of gone how I thought it would go. I personally thought that the Celtics had enough guns and dogs on their team to play with this Warriors team. I still do believe that. Also still think that the things of the Warriors still remain true as far as how well this team is playing. Besides that fourth quarter in game 1, you could, twist it, put it in your agenda that they've dominated this basketball series so far. So
it's because they have, right?
Yeah, I mean 1-1.
It is 1-1. I have to give Boston credit and change. If no one else will, I'll be the person to admit, okay, maybe I was a little bit wrong heading into this series. Boston's much more title worthy than I thought they were. I went into this series saying give them credit. They survived the East, but this is the only time this team is ever going to be in the finals. Giannis and his friends are going to be healthy next season, and Giannis is going to get back to running the East for the next 7 years like he should have. I don't think Boston's going to be in the NBA Finals much again. That doesn't mean they can't win this series, though. And going into this, I was just like, this is going to be non-competitive entirely. I still think it's been a relatively non-competitive series. But when you come back from down 15 to win a game on the road, clearly there's more to you than I had taken seriously. I don't think it bodes well for Boston, though, that Golden State has been up double digits at the end of the third, both games. Yes, give Boston credit. I think Golden State took their foot off the gas a little bit. I think they were trying to run clock instead of run offense. I think in the middle of that third quarter, because there was a point where they got it up to 12 in game 2, and then it went right back down to 6 really quickly. And that like Golden State didn't sit and try to ice it from there. They were like, okay, let's kill shot it. And to me, if Golden State does that, like Golden State to me didn't even play that well in game 2, right? Like they had the big flurry. Curry was great, but like you said it, Poole was pretty bad for over half the game. Clay is horrendous right now. Andrew Wiggins is impacting the game, but I still don't think he's like really playing great. I guess the second half he was pretty good. Like it feels to me the Warriors are far off from what their ceiling is, and they're still controlling these games for the majority of the game.
Yeah, but even last night, like I could flip that. Like in an NBA playoff game, you get 2 points from Al Horford, you get 2 points from Marcus Smart. Like, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of the Boston guys didn't play extremely well yesterday. And the one thing that's concerning for me is that I feel like in that game 1, Boston never like mailed it in when they could have mailed it in. And I feel like they mailed it in. Obviously, once they got to 20, I mean, you could kind of see that maybe they should mail it in, but I don't know. I respect seeing the fight out of that Boston team in that game 1 because they could have easily folded. And I don't think that fight was there in the second half. And I think that falls on guys like Marcus Smart and Al Horford to be able to get more than 2 points. But also, you know, you get an explosion of points from, you know, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum in that first half, and they really weren't anywhere to be found in the second half. And that's where they need their teammates to pick them up a little bit, and scoring 2 points is not picking them up at all. And also Boston needs to take care of the damn ball. I did not watch a lot of, honestly, Boston games during regular season just because I just didn't get around to it. Watch like their national games. I wouldn't say I watched them consistently, but I had no idea that they turned the ball over like this. Maybe they didn't, but between Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart, they all got to be a lot smarter with the ball as a team. No pun intended, because they really flipped that bitch.
Yeah, credit to you. I think our listeners knew that you didn't watch a lot of Boston Celtics when you picked the Celtics in 6 to win the series. But credit to you for owning that a little bit, Cart. Look,
that's 2 shots already at me. We haven't gone to the first topic.
Look, they don't have a true point guard. And like Marcus Smart does a lot of the Draymond-y things. Like I like Marcus Smart. He's a great guy to have in the playoffs. Tatum and Brown are, you know, they're superstar wings in the NBA that are 24 years or younger right now. They're not point guards. And I have my concerns when you have to drive primary offense through those 2 guys. Jaylen Brown was incredible in the first quarter. He finished 5 for 17. Jason Tatum was incredible for the entire first half. He finishes with the largest minus from a plus minus in NBA history.
There's NBA
history.
Hey, let me give you a little insight into Agenda 101. Okay, you don't use plus minus until it works in your favor. Because God forbid, if Poole's plus minus yesterday was like minus 36, it would have been my profile picture this morning.
But you know what? It wasn't minus 36 because Poole was hitting half court shots and going crazy. He had a 9-0 run personally in a 1-minute stretch.
To push him to 17.
Meanwhile, don't worry. Jason Tatum got his 28 because number one thing Jason Tatum cares about is those numbers, those points per game numbers. He got those. He got his 28. He just got his 28 in a 20-point loss where he was minus 36, while the next closest guy on his team, who only played 6 less minutes than him, Cart, was minus 15. So in the 6 minutes Al Horford was on the bench and Tatum was still on the floor, you got outscored by 21 points. Like, oh man, it's just losing basketball. He's a
man. 8 for 19 from the field, 6 for 9 from 3, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 28 points. What a stinker.
What you and every other
Eric White 4 for 13, Jaylen Brown 5 for 17, Marcus Smart 1 for 6, Al Horford 1 for 4. But damn, Tatum, you stink.
What you and every other Celtics fan has told me is that when Jason Tatum has a bad game, he normally is getting a bunch of assists now. He's impacting the game in other ways. That didn't happen in game 2. He was just a mid-range fall-away guy, and he made 8 of 19 of those. Congrats. Hang the banner. And then, no.
6 for 8 from 3.
Yeah, he was really hot from 3. He was really good. I called him Nobi in a group text, and then he didn't miss for 12 minutes.
And then I said Jordan Poole stinks, and he went on a 9-0 run.
Jason Tatum went to the post-game press conference and said, yeah, we've had a lot of conversations about how I can't get technicals. I really think I should pat myself on the back for not getting one. Hang the banner, Jason. Congratulations. That's where your head should be at. You should be proud of yourself after a 20-point L in game 2 that you didn't get a technical. Good job,
Hey,
my friend.
Boston, 1-1 back to Boston. Take that 10 times out of 10.
Draymond's a prick, right? Can you just admit that? I know he's Michigan State, but like, can we all just admit that?
Yeah, he's a dickhead.
Like he's got to be one of the most unlikable players in NBA history.
See, I wouldn't use the word unlikable.
It just like he can't get through a playoff series without such nonsense.
I'm sorry, I just got absolutely just so rattled right now. This whole time, I have not had my microphone plugged in.
Oh, wow. I feel like that, I mean, that should say something about you, Cart, but I don't know what it says. Rough start for the Sleepers this morning.
We're good. We're good. Mic's on now.
Good to know. I don't think mine's plugged in either.
Are you kidding me? Oh.
I don't know. I'm too scared to try. Let's go to topic number 2, back in our, where our hearts belong here.
Our wheelhouse.
Some people from the Illinois video thought that you are a Michigan fan, I think. They referred to us as just quote unquote Michigan people. Do you want to address that at the top and then we'll get into some Michigan State recruiting?
Yeah, sometimes when, like in college, when you had like them really long nights and you had to like make yourself throw up to kind of like get yourself back into mode, I would look at pictures and videos of Michigan basketball and the colors maize and blue because I hate the University of Michigan. I don't like them. They don't like me. That's just the way it is. I'm a Michigan State Spartan through and through, Spartan dog, woof, woof, go green, go white, all that. So no, I'm not a Michigan fan. I never will be a Michigan fan ever in my life. With that said, I do respect their basketball program, if that means anything to you.
That actually means the world to me. I'm very happy to hear you say that. Michigan State. We won't get into my fandoms. Illinois fans can figure that out on their own. Michigan State on the recruiting trail right now. It's all eggs in one basket. Yet again, as Tom Izzo likes it. Maybe that's not fair. He's got a couple other guys, but
I was just gonna say, no, I don't think this is a classic case of all his eggs in one basket.
The big one is Xavier Booker. I think there will be panic if Xavier Booker doesn't commit to Michigan State. That's fair to say, right?
Yes, there is, and he, like I said, and like I've been saying the past couple of weeks, the Duke offer came recently, like a week and a half ago. So that's what we're up against. So it's gonna be heartbreaking too if we lose on the Duke. I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it.
Doesn't usually bode well for Michigan State, a head-to-head recruiting battle with Duke, although I guess that devil, Coach K, is out of there. Who knows how that will affect things. But going back, Jaden Schutt, going back, Jabari Parker, you can go back through the years. You can find examples of head-to-head Michigan State versus Duke that usually doesn't bode too well for the Spartans on the recruiting trail. Xavier Booker rose from the 80s on all the ratings up to 4th overall in the class of 2023 on 247. That seems crazy to me. And I really like Xavier Booker. I think he's probably a 5-star recruit. I think he's like, I think I'd have him in the 20s, maybe like 15 to 20 range from what I've seen in this class. I don't think this guy's a top 5 guy in the country consensus though. Do you?
Okay, one, he's a certified 5-star. Let's not tiptoe around that. He's a certified 5-star player. And like I pointed out in the last episode, especially with 247, they really project players out. So a lot of him being in the top 5, I think is his trajectory and how he projects, kind of moving forward. I would actually agree with you that I think that he could be a top 5 player in this class. Like when all is said and done, he gets to college. Is he one right now? I think you can make an argument for it. I don't think it's solidified and stamped necessarily, but his improvement over this past year and over this summer, especially, I think is very evident. For anyone who's been on Twitter, he had I'm not sure if it was like a high school, one of those summer league things or something like that, but this man spun baseline and absolutely pooped all over a defender. Just disgusting. The tools are crazy. He's 6'10", 6'11". He can scratch his knees without bending over. Like, the measurables are there. This dude is like a sick basketball player. And I am scared. I'm very afraid that we're not going to get him. All signs point that we're still in the lead for him, and that, we're still in the driver's seat. We just got to make sure that we, don't hit the rumble strips. Let's stay in our lane and let's finish.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. I guess just for the listeners at home, when we talk about recruits or news that might happen, like we did the Michigan State assistant coach thing, we've done other recruitment breaking stuff in the past on here. But we don't want to be news breakers. That's not us. That's not what we intend to do in this media space at all. When we have the opportunity to, which we have had the opportunity to a couple times, Cart, we might kind of toe the line there, but we're not scoops guys. That's not who we are. We are speculation guys, because that's where the fun lies. That's what we want to do. So when we speculate on something like this, where will Xavier Booker go? Know that our information comes from a variety of places. Specific to Michigan State, we do have quote unquote sources that are willing to feed us some things from inside the program from time to time. We have some sources who would be knowledgeable from within the program that aren't within the program, who are willing to share us things from time to time. And then I'm plugged in pretty nicely with some of the Field of 68 guys more nationally who I do work for. So all that said, take everything that we're sort of teasing with a grain of salt, because nobody knows for sure what Xavier Booker is going to do. From all those sources I just listed, nobody's like, we're a lock, it's Michigan State. But everybody feels really good about it, and I think would consider Michigan State still the leader, despite more of the national people, the Tiptons of the world, starting to put a lot of eyes on him, which normally bodes better for a blue blood like Duke. So, Cart, today, if you had to put a percentage chance that he ends up in a Michigan State uniform, what would you say it is?
I would have put it at like 80 before the Duke offer. The Duke offer is going to bump it down to like 70 for me as of right now.
Okay. That's not a huge drop. I mean, 80.
No, it's not. I like where we're at with him. From everything that I've, you already just gave the whole spiel about how we are with like newsbreakers, and, we're newsmakers, not newsbreakers. I don't know if that's a bar right there, but
bar. Yeah. Good bar.
Yeah. But yeah, everything that I've heard, seen, points to the fact that we're still in a really good position. So I'll leave it at 70%.
I will say I'm a big tea leaves guy. I like to read the tea leaves. I think it bodes really well that all of the Michigan State commits we are currently excited about are like really publicly endorsing Xavier Booker. Yes. Like Jackson Kohler, Jeremy Fears tweeted a picture that was like, "What do you see here?"
Yeah. Even AJ Hogarth, he's all up under Xavier Booker's last, because he posted that he got the offer from Duke, and you get 3 straight comments from AJ Hogarth's nah. Next comment, this ain't it, and then the next one is go green with a green heart.
Hogarth's a very good online program guy. I've seen.
AJ Hogarth is on the case.
Does he have that dog in him, Cart?
He's got that dog in him.
Can you have dog in you on the court and like on social media streams? Are those 2 different levels of dog? Because AJ is definitely a dog on Twitter.
Yes, you can be both.
Okay. They're separate though, right? Like you can have one or the other, or you can have both.
For me personally, no. Can't be a dog on social media and not be a dog in real life.
Interesting. Okay. See, I need your official dog rules at some point. Woof, woof. Michigan State.
I'll actually get to that. Woof.
Everybody who's not a Michigan State fan would love to understand what makes these people dogs. But anyways, yeah, I like Booker. I hope he goes to Michigan State. If he does go to Michigan State, they have a good core, actually, for the first time in 5 seasons.
Yeah. Also, I want to point out while we're talking about recruits, I really like what I've seen from Jeremy Fears. I liked him before, but I feel like he's taken a step this summer from what I've seen. Like, I didn't know that he had some of this stuff to his game. I think that's really impressive, and that bodes well moving forward for Michigan State as far as point guard wise. I wouldn't be worried about point. And, in the past couple of years, that has been, one might say, a topic of discussion. So I like Jeremy Fears a lot.
I like Fears a lot too. If you can get to a roster, I mean, we're years out from this because like AJ Hogarth still exists and AJ is going to be a good college player. But like if we can get to a roster where it's like Fears, Akins, Kohler, Booker as the core, that team's nasty.
Yes.
I don't care who the three is, but there's a long way to go to get there because right now we got to sit through a couple more AJ Hogarth seasons. We got to sit through a couple other, who knows if Akins is ever going to start for Michigan State. We'll see. He might get his 15 off the bench this year. But yeah, the future.
Couldn't we technically have a AJ Hogarth senior season with a freshman Jeremy Fears?
Yeah. No,
that'd be ideal.
Yeah, that's exactly what it would be, right?
That would be very ideal. You add that to what you just said. Like that's a really
it'd be a sophomore Fears, right? Because Fears is in next season. So be a junior.
this year AJ's gonna be a junior.
Hogarth.
Yeah,
Hogarth. I thought you were talking about Akins.
Oh no, sorry. Hogarth. Hogarth's gonna be a junior this year.
Yep.
And Jeremy Fears is gonna be a senior in high school. So then it'd be senior year Hogarth, freshman year Fears.
Yeah, I don't want that though. Just give me Fears.
Okay. All right.
I just cause like I don't think AJ Hogarth strikes fear, pun intended, into opponents. I'm just saying. He's fine. Ask the Illinois fans who are listening to this if they're afraid of AJ Hogarth.
I don't think Illinois fans are afraid of anything.
Very true. Let's move to Michigan, who new names are buzzing for because they still apparently want more players in the portal. Who knew, Carter?
Wait, call me.
I have a quick question. Who knew that when you have 11 guys on your team on scholarship, you could still get more? Who knew that? I thought you couldn't. I thought you were not supposed to try to get more players when you already had 11. But Michigan's actually trying to get more to build their roster out. Yes, Carter?
Well, I just want to address some comments that were made by you on a couple past episodes. I actually have a list that I kind of compiled of players that you said you were going to get. And let's see where we have here. Okay. Of course, we don't.
I call bullshit that there's anything written on that page right now, by the way. All for show.
There's nothing, but I got the list in here.
Give me the list. Give me the list.
Terrence Shannon. Bye-bye. We all know that. Let's talk about that. Bye-bye. Are we saying goodbye to Amani Bates?
No. Amani Bates will end up at Michigan. I'm standing by that.
I was told that Pete Nance would be at Michigan.
I never said that. I said they contacted him.
Okay. I was told Malachi Smith would be at Michigan.
I never said that. I said they contacted him. They
did. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I see we're slipping out with the loophole contacted here, but okay.
They did. To be very clear, in fact, in our last episode, when I was yelling about how Daddy Brad owns us, I was saying that they are like Michigan's entire plan seemed to be, wait for Houston and Diabate to leave, and then we'll just get Malachi Smith and Pete Nance. And I was like, no, you're delusional. That's never going to happen because you're not going to go to head with Gonzaga and get a transfer. At this point, you're not going to go to head with Illinois and get a transfer you want. And Illinois probably wants Pete Nance. We're going to talk about that in a second. So, yeah, those are all guys that Michigan targeted. I think they should be targeting those guys. I wish Michigan State targeted those guys. You probably do too, but they got none of them. And now the targets move because there's still 2 open scholarships and this team needs impact players. And that's 2 guys that we're ready to talk about now. One of whom, Emmanuel Akot from Boise State. He is a former big recruit, went to Arizona for 2 seasons, played with DeAndre Ayton at Arizona, and then transferred to Boise State, where he was a starter last season. He averaged 10 points a game. I think he was like 36% from 3 on 5 attempts a game, but like 50% from the free throw line. So there are questions with his shot, despite him being a big time volume 3-point shooter last season at a pretty efficient rate. He doesn't look like a defender at all, even though he has the frame for it. I don't know what that's about. And he kind of has some secondary creator stuff. He can do like ball screen stuff as a 4, which intrigues me. Your thoughts on Akot?
I like Akot, I suppose, but I don't really like his fit for Michigan because I think he's a non-shooter. And I think you guys need shooters. And he's not necessarily, I don't really know what he I think his best attribute is probably his measurables. He used to be an even better athlete. If I'm not mistaken, I think he had a serious Achilles injury, which kind of slowed him down, derailed him at Arizona a little bit. I might have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure I'm thinking of the same guy. I don't know. It's just not a needle mover for me for Michigan necessarily. It's a body, but I mean, like he's not a shooter.
I think he is a shooter.
No,
I think he is. I know.
I think if you're getting jump shots from ACOT, then you're pretty happy with what you're doing.
So I have scales with shooters because I've been arguing that his shooting is not that different from Jalen Llewellyn's shooting. And I've been saying I have concerns with Llewellyn as a shooter. But here's my thing. Llewellyn's obviously a better shooter than ACOT. My problem is that I expect my point guard to be a better shooter than I expect my 4 to be. Like I need my point guard to be a guy who averages 6 attempts a game and makes them close to 40%. I don't think Llewellyn can be that guy. He might be 6 attempts a game, might be 30% from 3 if he does that. ACOT, to me, we just need 3 open catch and shoots a game. He probably is going to get more open shots at Michigan than he ever has before. And the last 2 seasons, Cart, he shot 4 attempts a game from 3 and 5 attempts a game from 3 at Boise State, made 33%, followed by 39%. Like, that's a big enough sample size that he gets shots up and can hit them. I don't know what's going on at the free throw line. Probably mental. I was a career 0 for 5 free throw shooter in high school. Okay. I'm a pretty good 3-point shooter. Like that can play some games there. But I don't know. I think he could step in at the 4 and shoot for Michigan.
Yeah. Just want to let it be known that as far as 3-point shooting comes on this podcast, I am the better 3-point shooter. But also I think the thing with ACOT that, I'm trying to think what the comparison I can kind of make here is. I think that what could also be bad is that you're saying that he could do catch and shoot type things. Emmanuel ACOT thinks he's going to be the best player on the team.
Maybe not. Like I guess
like that's how I feel like that's his mental makeup. That's how he operates, like a Dylan Brooks-esque type vibe. Like you have better players on the team, but you think you're the best one. So like you can do some things, but you could also like fuck the team over by like doing way too much, like not filling into a role.
So first of all, I don't think I blame him for that at Boise State. I think a guy of his talent should think he's the best player on the team at Boise State. I think he's been around guys who he's clearly not better than. He's been around talent before. He played with DeAndre Ayton in Arizona for Sean Miller. I think Michigan needs some guys who think they're the best player on the team. Like, other than Hunter, who's an alpha on this team next year? It ain't Kobe Buffkin. I don't know what Llewellyn's mentals are. Like, Terrence Williams, Michigan State fans, if they had him, would probably call him a dog, but I'm not going to project him to score like 13 a game. Like, I think Michigan needs some dudes, and ACOT's a dude. If it's not ACOT, it's probably Amani Bates, right? He thinks he's the best player on the team too. For the record, I'd rather have Bates than ACOT. I'd rather shoot for the moon.
I agree.
Shoot for, I don't know, what's closer than the moon? The clouds?
I don't know. Sun?
Secondary targets, though, let's hit on those quickly for Michigan. Jacob Grandison is supposedly an option. I don't know that Michigan's reached out, but they should reach out. I think Grandison included Michigan on his list of like 10. He'd be purely catch and shoot. It would work really nicely next to Hunter. I said it would actually help Michigan in the backcourt. I know Illinois, at Illinois, he primarily played the 4, but like you could slide guys down, and I think Granderson's comfortable enough with the ball in his hands that you could get by with like Jet and Terrence Williams and Grandison as your 2, 3, 4. You're probably fine.
Yeah, I like Grandison for just pure, like what you said, just knockdown shoot. I mean, he shot 42% from 3 last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And he's shown to be a career really good 3-point shooter. Unfortunately, I feel like one of the blue blood, big time NIL people are going to snatch him up. But I don't know, who knows? Like he could really do something for a team that's like almost there. Like you just add a 40% 3-point shooter that's 6'6". Like that's a really good ad. And he's low maintenance. You don't got to worry about him. You know what I'm saying? He's old enough to rent a car. Like it'd be a good pickup for anybody. I mean, you saw his list. He had some teams on there. It
is a little funny to me that like I all respect to Jacob Grandison. He's a great player, probably the best option other than Pete Nance in the portal right now. But Like, he's Jacob Grandison. Like, does that say something about college basketball that like blue bloods are now like flipping over backwards and we're actually Jacob Grandison could be the piece that puts him over the top? Like,
Where's Joey Baker going?
I've watched Jacob Grandison so many times and I've never thought twice about him other than that one half he went nuclear against Michigan State.
Yeah.
And now like he's the piece that's going to separate a title contender from somebody else. It's wild, but it's true. The last target for Michigan is Justin Powell, who played at Auburn, then he played at Tennessee, he didn't play at Tennessee. Auburn, he played 10 games. He looked like the best player in the portal if you bought those numbers. He averaged 12, 6, and 5 in his freshman year at Auburn 2 seasons ago. 44% from 3 on 4 attempts a game. And then he got hurt and didn't play the rest of the year. I mean, that's like, as a true freshman, those are crazy numbers. Then he goes to Tennessee on a really good team and didn't play, I think because he doesn't play defense.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I think I remember asking, I think it was Cooper Watson maybe, about like why Justin Powell doesn't play, because I was a fan of his coming into college as like the guy who would like do it all. And he was doing it all like as a freshman in the SEC for Auburn. And when he committed to Tennessee, I was like, oh man, Tennessee's really got something. They got Kennedy Chandler coming in. They got Powell coming in. Like they got a really good team. And he was out of the rotation for the whole year. So I still think there's something there. Right now, Justin Powell's a better option than Kobe Buffkin. Right now, if you're just going based off what last year was. So I think it'd be a good pickup for Michigan. Or any team necessarily. It fits a lot better into Michigan's positional need than like Akot and Grandison do. Like just get a true 2 and let him and Buffkin play it out, see who's better. But I don't know. Third school in 3 years. I'll be interested who goes after Justin Powell at this point, if he truly has a reputation of just being a total non-defender. I still like him. I think you and I are higher on him than a lot of people are. If it's Justin Powell or Joey Baker, bye-bye Joey Baker. Send Justin Powell in, please. Thanks. And can we please revisit you saying you're a better 3-point shooter than me? That's just false. Don't lie. I am. I think you're better than me at everything on a basketball court. But if you and I got on a gun every day for the rest of our lives and shot 25 threes, I would make more than you every day. I disagree. Can we set this up? Please. Inside hoop or outside hoop? Has to be inside. Okay, that's the measure of a true better shooter. I'm saying we gotta set it up. Honestly, next time we're in Lansing, shout out to our boy Jake Bullock. Just got the head coaching job at Lansing Catholic. Maybe he can get us in the gym. Keys to the gym? Possibly. Maybe. I need keys to the gym bad. But let's stay on topic. Sorry. Pete Nance is probably actually the best player in the portal at this point. Now that Malachi Smith is committed. What? Can I get my shit off for 2 seconds? Yeah. I need people to put some respect on Pete Nance's name. Like, why are we acting like there's not a 50, 40, 90 guy in the portal who averages 2 blocks a game? And that's 6'8"? I think he's taller than that. Yeah, maybe 6'10". Like, come on. 6'10". Like Pete Nance, if you go back to the start of the transfer portal, like when that initial 100 rankings come out, I think Pete Nance deserves to be in that top 10 of players. Yeah, I think he does. Look, he played at Northwestern. That's why nobody cares. If Pete Nance played anywhere else, I care. You and I care a lot. I would do awful, horrible things to have Pete Nance on my basketball team. Like, I'm trying to think of what I'm. Don't even touch on that because I don't want to know where your mind's going to go for this. I've thought of some that are so inappropriate. Okay, well, I understand what you would do. You can keep moving on with your point. I would eat cereal with a fork for the rest of my life to have Pete Nance on my basketball team. You don't do that already? No, with a fork? Who are you? Look, Pete Nance is great. He's not a 50, 40, 90 guy, even though we both like to say that. He shot 76% from the line. That's what kills that. But he did shoot 50% from the floor. 50, 40, 76. He shot 50% from the floor, 45% from 3 with 1 block a game. 3 assists a game, though. Like there's a lot to him. Nance can do everything on a basketball floor. He's the size of a center with the game of like an awesome stretch 4. I think he would be like a first-team all-conference guy at any of the major conferences he goes to. If he goes to the right team that wants to use him as like a second option.
and he can be a first option on a really good team. He seems like a great kid. Like, we've gotten to talk to him a little bit. He loves college basketball. I think he broke down in tears at the Big Ten tournament about leaving Northwestern and said it was the greatest decision of his life. And he's so thankful. And then he immediately hit the portal. Like, I think the kid's dying for a little, actual competition.
He's dying to not play with Chase Audige and Boo Buie.
Yeah. And maybe that says something, like, he's a nice guy for surviving 4 years of doing that. But let's get Pete Nance in mode where he can actually go kill on a really good team. So I'd like to see that. Illinois was the rumored leader for Pete Nance all along, Cart. And then they got Terrence Shannon and they got Matthew Meyer. Are they also going to get Pete Nance?
I don't know. I'm leaning Pete Nance to UNC. That's kind of like that Manic replacement. Because at first I thought that Matthew Meyer, we got to figure out what that actually is.
I think it's Meyer.
Meyer? Yeah.
But
I think it's Matthew Meyer, but I thought Matthew Meyer was going to UNC. So maybe it's just like you get Mayer, they get Nance, like, or shit. Maybe Illinois gets both. Daddy, whatever you call him. I'm not gonna refer to him as that.
You know what I call him? Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it for the people.
It's odd. It's never coming out. It's never ever happened.
Listen, the people love Daddy Brad, Dad Underwood. That's who he is. He's dominating the Big Ten. He is. He's just killing it in this era. That's what he does. Look, when he says, I don't get my allowance this week, I don't get my allowance this week. It is what it is. I respect the man, even though I hate the man sometimes. I respect and I love the man. It's not going to shock me at all if Illinois gets Pete Nance. Like, I think Pete Nance probably wanted to go to Illinois. I think originally he was going to go to Gonzaga. If Drew Timme left, that was a done deal from the sounds of it. And then Drew Timme returned because Drew Timme likes to ruin everyone's lives. And Pete Nance, I'm so sick of Drew Timme, dude. I'm so sick of him. Like, really, dude, just move on and get a job in finance or something. Like, as annoyed as everybody nationally was with Brad Davison, that's how annoyed I am with Drew Timme.
Oh, come on.
I get it. You have really nice footwork and you don't shave and your teams lose before they should in the tournament as much as Illinois does. And you're really good and you're back. Great. Like, I want to see Gonzaga with some new faces. I don't want to see Drew Timme kill Pepperdine again and again and again.
Drew Timme was in the national championship game 2 years ago. Yeah,
I said they lose before they should because they should have won it all that year. They were clearly the best team in the country, or so I was told.
Were they?
Or so I was told.
That Baylor team's nice.
Baylor team was nice. We were trying to tell the people. I'm just saying. But look, like Pete Nance, if he had gone to Gonzaga, I'm all in. I love that team. I'd rather have Pete Nance than Drew Timme if I'm Gonzaga. Illinois.
That's a take. That's a take.
Should we flesh out that take a little bit?
Drew Timme over Pete Nance?
I would rather have Pete Nance if I'm Gonzaga than Drew Timme. Yes.
I disagree with that.
He gives them something new. He gives them something more versatile than just a low post feeder who wasn't even an All-American last season, Cart. Like, we're gonna just funnel everything through Timme again. He's gonna get his 18 a game. And they're going to be a great regular season. Like, what else is there? I don't think that works. I don't think that works in March. I don't. I think Pete Nance would give them more shooting. Just a true.
We don't even know. We don't even know if Pete Nance works in March.
Damn it, you're right. But like, a stretch 4 shooters work in March. 50, 40, 77 guys work in March.
No, man. I know you hate Timme, but I think the disrespect towards this game is just a little bit.
He's really good, right? He's really good. I view him like Dickinson. Like, he's really, really good. Is he a guy?
Would you rather have Pete Nance or Hunter Dickinson?
Oh, Michigan fans might not like me for my answer.
Whoa. Are you taking Nance?
Dickinson, but I don't know. You have the problem is you have to mold your team around Dickinson, right? And that's what Michigan's struggling to do. That's why we had to process Frankie Collins. That's why we're desperately trying to get other guys that can shoot in the portal. Like, if you have Hunter Dickinson, you have to build everything else around him the right way. Otherwise, your team stinks. We saw that last year. I think if you have Drew Timme, like, I'm not going to say the team stinks because they're good enough to hammer Pepperdine, like I said, by 40 every time they play them. But like,
Pepperdine's tough.
You have to build your team around the true low post guy. If you have Pete Nance, you don't have to build your team around Pete Nance. Pete Nance fits into any team, right?
Yeah.
You're pulling a Goodman on me right now. What the hell's going on your phone? There better be.
I was looking up Timmy numbers.
Okay, I was waiting for you to slam the phone, roll your eyes at me there.
No, never would I ever.
Look, I just think Pete Nance is really good and can go anywhere and fit into what a team's doing. If Pete Nance goes to Illinois, they are the third best team in the country instantly.
Wow, third. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. You have an argument there, I guess. I mean, Houston, Gonzaga would be before them for me. And then UNC?
I put Houston, Gonzaga 1, 2, 1A, 1B. I put Illinois 3. I put North Carolina 4. If Pete Nance goes to Illinois. Meyer, Shannon, Nance. Come on.
So you're really all in on Sky Clark too.
I just don't think like I think people being worried about a 5-star point guard is a little crazy. Like I don't like Sky Clark's not being asked to be their best player. If he was, I would panic.
And also according to you, you have one of the best playmakers in the portal in Terrence Shannon.
Not for others, but he can do more. He can do a little bit off the dribble. Look, I like if this team got Pete Nance card, Hawkins, Nance, Shannon, Meyer. Sky Clark just needs to not turn the ball over on the way up the floor. And that team's incredible.
Some people can't do that.
Sky Clark can do that. And he has upside of being able to do more than that. Like, I know he's coming off injury. He's a 5-star point guard. Even if your 5-star point guard isn't all conference first team right away, like Melo Trimble and D'Angelo Russell, they're normally good. They're normally playable. So they got dudes, man. And that doesn't even count the dudes we're skeptical of. That doesn't count Melendez. That doesn't count Danger. That doesn't count Omar Epps. Like, doesn't count Ty Rodgers, who's playing USA.
Omar Epps.
Is that his name? What's his name?
Jaden Epps.
Jaden Epps. I thought it was who's Omar Epps?
He's an actor.
Oh yeah, shit. Look, it's Monday, man. My brain's fuzzy. I'm here talking people into Illinois because they got Omar Epps on their team.
But your point, man, is the same. They got pieces. They got talent. It's there.
While I'm calling Jaden Epps Omar Epps, I forgot to mention that my new name for Jason Tatum is Jason Tatum.
Like Nicholas Batum?
Yeah, Jason Tatum.
We see where you changing Jason Tatum's name. We see where that gets you.
He's a role guy.
I'm so sick of this. All right, but we're off that. I'm just so sick of it.
Final topic. Andy Katz came out with his, I don't even know what he called. He ranks 36 teams for some reason. I think he calls it the Cats 36. Like, I'm sorry. Him and Rothstein and all these people that just do their different rankings and come up with different names and different numbers.
It's also funny that because it's the numbers change. Like, I think Rothstein is 45.
Yeah, it's like when we did our mid ranks and we did 19, right? Or 17. Whatever. Like, we're trying to play the game, right? Look, Andy Katz has always been a Big Ten guy. He knows where his paychecks come from. Okay. He has 8 Big Ten teams in his top 34 teams. I'm going to read these through in a list. Indiana, 7. Michigan State, 13th in the country. Illinois, 15th. Michigan, 17th. Purdue, 21st. Wisconsin, 28th. Iowa, 31. Ohio State, 34. Andy Katz is clinically insane.
Yeah. Like, I literally want to know what dispensary rewards program he's a part of, because it's wrong. I don't even know if we got to just elaborate on this. Like, what is that?
It's the little
10. Wrong.
It's the little 10. It's the little 10. That's what this conference is next season. I think it. Indiana,
I don't know what to be most mad about. I mean, can we start with why is Wisconsin in the top 25?
They're 28, but you're right. The most egregious by far, objectively. I'm sorry.
Oh, here we go.
The most egregious is Michigan State at 13. That's insane.
There's a lot of egregious things on there.
There are a lot of it, but the most is Michigan State at
we don't have to egregious shame right now.
Indiana at 7 is probably like 5 spots too high. Illinois at 15, honestly, is about right where I'd have them, but I think I'm higher on them than most are. Michigan State at 13, I would not have them ranked. Michigan 17, right now, I'd have them very fringe, like 25 if they're ranked. Purdue at 21, when Purdue doesn't have is Fletcher Lawyer the point guard at Purdue, and they're 21st in the country. Wisconsin at 28, with who? Like, I'm trying. What's Chucky Hepburn?
Tyler Wall.
Is Tyler Wall back even?
I think.
Just 28, man. Iowa 31 is fine. Like, I'm gonna talk myself into Iowa. And I guess, like, who cares? Ohio State 34, whatever. They're going to be bad. But I don't know, man. I think this conference stinks. I think Andy Katz is drunk.
Andy Katz needs help. Like, respect to Andy Katz with everything he does in this space. But come on, man. Good Lord. What is that?
Could you say that in regards to this list, Andy Katz doesn't have some dog in him?
No, Andy Katz has, one might say, a lot of cat in him.
You have a lot of cat. You are cat.
What do you mean by that?
This is getting weird. Look, open invite, Andy Katz, open invite to come on the show and defend yourself here. I saw some Michigan fans wanted like a Big Ten first take style show where people just roast Andy Katz. I'll volunteer for that. If I can get Andy Katz on camera, like, I will hold his feet to the fire on this.
Andy. It's Little 10, man. We're Big Ten fans just like you are.
It's the Little 10.
It's the Little 10. It is.
Embrace it. It's the Little 10, and that's why Daddy Brad is going to run right through it as he does and continue. I miss the days when I hated Illinois Cart.
You know what? There is one thing that you got to be careful of, and we got that. They'll turn on you. They'll turn on you quick.
Illinois will?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they will.
I didn't know that.
They will. I put Kofi Coburn at like number 4 in my player rankings, and I got eaten alive because I put Oscar Tshiebwe above him.
I tweeted not so nice things at Trent Frazier. I got killed for that one. I was just hoping people would forget about that. But anyways, all right, sleepers, thanks for watching. Please click that subscribe, like, comment, all of that. We are recording later this week a big NBA draft series. We did who should the Detroit Pistons take? We're going to do that same thing for every team in the lottery with our boy Nima from Multiplicity. So keep an eye out for that. Those videos should be out next week. We're going to record them this week. And more content will be on the way very soon. Cart, final words?
Everybody love everybody, man. Let's be great.